Hi everyone, we are Team 1 and this is our introduction to the topic. Today I want to talk a very important topic that affects many people around the world. The topic is the impacts of migration and the promotion of human rights in the diplomatic relations between countries. So migration means that people move from one country to another. Many people leave their homes for different reasons. Some want to find better job, better education, or a safer place to live. Other people are forced to leave because of wars, violence, or natural disasters. Migration is not a new thing, but in recent years the number of people moving has increased a lot. This movement of people changed not only their own lives, but also the lives of many others, including the governments and the societies in different countries. When people move to new countries, governments need to decide how to manage this movement. Some countries welcome migrants and refugees and try to give them protection and support. They create laws that allow migrants to work, study, and live safely. Other countries have strict immigrant laws and try to control who can enter or who can stay. This different approach can cause cooperation or conflict between the countries.
Human rights. First, what are human rights? They are basic freedoms and protections that every person should have, no matter their background. These include, religion, sex, sexuality, orientation, skin color, and many others. These rights include safety, freedom from discrimination, access to education, and healthcare. The relationship between rights and migration is in migrants and refugees. Many countries agree that migrants and refugees should also have these rights. They work through international organizations like the United Nations to promote them. Exist many challenges to respecting rights. Sometimes these rights can be or are not respected, and migrants may face violence, discrimination, and poor living conditions. They can be unfairly detained or denied access to basic services. There are huge impact on international relations. This can create tensions between countries. Migration is also connected to other global issues. For example, migrants contributed to the economy by working and paying taxes. They also enrich culture by writing new traditions and ideas for his own countries. For this and for all these reasons, migrants and human rights are key topics in diplomacy today. We can remember the importance of protecting human rights for everyone, especially for two migrants in search of a better life.
Hi. Migration really affects how a country get along. When a country treated migrants well and respect their human rights, it looks good in front of the other nation. For example, the United Nations says that every and the right to ask for asylum and to be treated with respect. When countries follow this, they get more support and trust from the world. A good example is Canada. Canada is the welcome refuge and help them start a new life from the migrants. Because of this, Canada has a strong reputation and good relationships with the other countries. That shows how helping migrants can improve a country's image and diplomacy. But not all countries to do this. In Libya, many migrants were treated badly in detention centers. In 2021, the European Parliament spoke out against this. It causes problems for Libya, and the other countries didn't want to cooperate with them. This proves that when you don't respect human rights, your international relationships can get worse. So, how a country treats migrants is not only about laws, it's also about how they're seen by the world. Helping people brings more respect and better diplomacy.
Another important aspect to consider is how bilateral and multilateral agreements on migration influence diplomatic ties. Countries often engage in negotiations to manage migration flows, share responsibility, and ensure the protect of migration rights. For example, the Global Compact for Safe or Orderly and Regular Migration, adopted by the United Nations in 280, encourages international cooperation and promotes policies based on human dignity and multilateral benefit. States that actively participate in such initiatives often strengthen their diplomatic ties and enhance their global leadership roles. Additional migration can serve as further Bedouin culture and as a tool for soft power. Nations with large diasporas communities abroad often maintain strong diplomatic relations with host countries to ensure the well-being of their citizens. At the same time, countries that welcome migration can benefit from cultural exchange, economic contribution, and strengthen international partnership. This international can lead the cultural, diplomatic, education exchange, and trade agreements for their solidifying relation between nations. However, tension can arise when migration policies are driven by fear, discrimination of diplomatic interests, harsh border police, xenophobic rhetoric, violation of international asylum laws can create conflict between states, especially when migration setting countries perceive their citizens are being mistreated. In such case, diplomatic friction can escalate, leading to the reduction of cooperation or even sanctions.
The promotion of human rights in the context of migration not only strengthens bilateral relations but also shapes global governance mechanisms. International organizations like the UN, IOM, International Organization of Migration, and UNHCR play a fundamental role in facilitating dialogue among states, promoting shared principles of solidarity, shared responsibility, and respect for human dignity. Active participation in these international forums allows states not only to influence the global agenda but also to receive technical, financial, and political support to address complex migration challenges. Diplomatic relations also benefit from the exchange of best practices in migration management. Technical cooperation programs, bilateral agreements or readmission or labor mobility, such as those between the European Union and countries in Africa or Latin America, show how migration can be addressed through mutual responsibility and benefit. When these agreements are grounded in respect for human rights, they promote political stability and more balanced and constructive foreign relations. However, the political instrumentalization of migration can negatively impact diplomacy. Some governments use migration as a tool, political pressure, or as a justification for adopting nationalist and rhetoric. This has led to diplomatic tensions, particularly when such policies affect citizens from neighborhood countries or building international treaties. So-called migration diplomacy can be a platform for cooperation or a source of a conflict depending on how it is used. Ultimately, when migration is approached from a human rights international cooperation perspective, it can become a catalyst for more ethical, inclusive diplomacy focused on a collective well-being by integrating migrant protection into foreign policy. States not only uphold universal values but also position themselves as responsible and engaged global actors in this sense. A country's approach to migration becomes an extension of its diplomatic identity and its vision of the international order.
Hello, my name is Mariana, and I'm going to share my conclusion on the topic. Migration significantly influences diplomatic relations, reflecting a country's values, priorities, and commitment to human rights. When nations adopt inclusive and respectful migration policies, they not only protect vulnerable individuals, but also strengthen their international image and foster long-term partnerships. Example, like Canada, show how protecting migrants can lead to global recognition and enhanced cooperation with cases such as Libya demonstrate how human rights violations can result in international condemnation and weakening diplomatic ties. Moreover, migration agreements and participation in global frameworks like the Global Compact for Migration show that diplomacy thrives on collaboration, shared responsibility, and mutual benefit. Through cultural exchange, diaspora engagement, and technical cooperation, migration becomes a bridge that connects the country beyond borders. However, when migration is used for political gain or managed through fear-based and discriminatory practice, it can generate serious diplomatic conflicts and undermine international trust. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Ruby Gonzalez and I'm part of the team number 1. Now we are talking about the migration and the promotion of human rights. At this moment, I'm going to give my conclusion about this topic and talk about different things about this kind of topic, okay? My conclusion, migration and the promotion of human rights significantly influence diplomatic relations between nation states, while migration can foster economic growth, cultural exchange, and cooperation. It also presents challenges related to border control, national security, and intelligence policies. Meanwhile, the commitment or lack thereof to human rights standards shapes international perceptions and alliances, often becoming a central factor in bilateral and multilateral negotiations. Ultimately, the way states navigate these complex issues reflects their broader foreign policies priorities and ethical frameworks, stringent international cooperation, respecting human dignity, and addressing root causes of migration are essential for building stable and constructive diplomatic relations.
Ultimately, migration is not only a humanitarian issue, but also is a diplomatic opportunity. When addressed with respect for human rights, global cooperation, and a commitment to justice, migration can become a powerful tool for building peace, trust, and shared progress among nations. A country's approach to migration reflects its moral compass and its role in the international community. In today's interconnected world, treating migrants with dignity is not just the right thing to do. It's a diplomatic imperative that shapes how nations are seen, heard, and remembered on the global stage. Thank you.